The NASCAR Camp World Truck Series heads to Pocono International Speedway, and we see another victory from Cobblers Motorsports at Pocono. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching the NASCAR Camp World Truck Series race from Pocono Speedway. Got some thoughts about it. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Before the green flag dropped in today's race, only one truck would have to go to the rear of the field, and that'd be Josh Reaume, who basically had unapproved adjustments. He would start at the rear of the field. So at start of the race, you had Zane Smith lead the field from the outside and Chandler Smith on the inside, and Chandler Smith got a really good push for the race lead. And then going into turn number 2, the first caution on lap 1 would come out for Jack Wood, who basically got loose going into turn number 2. We saw from the Top 9's in-car camera. Jack Wood would spin, bringing out the caution. We then go back green on lap 5 with Chandler Smith leading from the outside and Zane Smith on the inside, with Chandler Smith able to clear for the race lead. And then we would see the second caution race come out on lap 7, a few laps in a run for Dean Thompson, who got loose in turn number 1. He thought he got turned by Tate Fogelman or somebody else, but no one got into him, and Dean Thompson would bring the caution out. A couple drivers would come down pit road. Ty Majeski for pitting for adjustments, and Grant Infinger, who was having some radio harness issues, he would come down pit road. So on the restart, Chandler Smith lead the field from the outside with Zane Smith on the inside, and Chandler Smith was able to clear for the race lead. And then a lap later, another caution would come out for Top 9. He basically got pinched in between Haley Deegan and Blaine Perkins. Just a racing duel, in my opinion, battling hard for position, and Top 9 was spin into the outside wall, bringing out the final caution to stage number 1, and collected Jack Wood and Tyler Hill in that, bringing out the caution. Because of this, Chandler Smith would basically come off the corner and win stage number 1 under yellow. And Zane Smith would also, with him finishing as well as he did, he would clinch the regular season championship with scoring enough points. Of course, you got to be wait for post-race inspection to happen, but Chandler Smith would win stage number 1. We see a bunch of cars coming down pit road during this time. We actually saw Zane Smith lose a bunch of positions. Guys like basically Chandler Smith, Christian Eckes, Carson Osbar, they stayed out, while the rest leaders came down pit road. And then on the restart, Chandler Smith lead the field from the outside with Carson Osabar on the inside. And we basically saw Chandler Smith get the lead there and dominate the next portion. Then pit stops started happening with Sid Green pretty much all throughout stage 2. Pit stops would happen for guys like Corey Heim, Carson Osabar, Derek Cross, Austin Hill. They would all come down pit road during this. Stuart Friesen, unfortunately, though, get penalized for a safety violation. And then a few laps later, Chandler Smith would come down to road to basically get his pit stop. And then, because some guys stayed out with strategy and stuff, and Christian Eckes, who I believe stayed out during stage number 1, he would actually come off the corner and win stage number 2. Barely had a Tyler Ingram. He would win stage number 2. So on the restart, you basically have Chandler Smith lead the field from the outside with Ryan Preece on the inside, and Chandler Smith was able to get the race lead. Then, with around 20 laps to go, Fox decided to go to commercial, and we saw Ryan Preece challenge Chandler Smith for the race lead. And then Ryan Preece got around Chandler Smith a few laps later to take the race lead. And then on the next lap, the caution come out once again for Spencer Boyd, who spun in turn number 3 and dropped some debris. I'm not sure what kind of debris it was, but he would bring out, I believe, the second to last caution in this race. Then Zane Smith would come down pit road during the caution to basically fix a throttle issue, and Ben Rhodes would pit once again to get tires because he did not take tires under the last caution. So on the restart, you have Ryan Preece lead the field from the outside and Chandler Smith on the inside. And Chandler Smith gets an amazing push from his teammate Corey Heim, which Chandler's had problems with Corey a lot of this year. He would get a great push from Corey Heim, and Chandler Smith was able to clear for the race lead. Then we would see Derek Cross have some issues where he started radioing. He was having some power steering issues on the car, but luckily for him, he was able to keep going and started complaining about power steering. Now, Pocono's a track, you don't have to have the greatest power steering in the world. You have a lot of straightaways where you can keep going. And then it would basically come out to a final battle in the last 10 laps between 3 or 4 drivers. Ryan Preece, Chandler Smith, I believe Corey Heim and Carson Osabar were also involved in that as well. And the reason is because Chandler Smith in the final few laps was starting to complain he was having issues with his fuel pressure gauge inside his truck. Now, luckily for him, he's able to keep the lead, and basically Ryan Preece started closing in. He tried to big boost in the last couple of laps. We saw battling behind John Hunter Nemechek got up to 3rd and was actually catching these two. And it would come out to the last lap between Chandler Smith and Ryan Preece as Ryan Preece was closing in, trying to pass Chandler Smith for the win. But Chandler Smith would pull away to about a 2 or 3/10 of a second lead. Preece tried to set in the final corner, but it does not work. And coming off the final corner in a really short race, Chandler Smith holds off a hard-charging Ryan Preece to pick up his second victory of the 2022 season, picks up major stage points, gets a bunch of playoff points as well, and wins the race here at Pocono. Chandler Smith, in my opinion, pretty much had the best truck. He led a majority of the race. I think he led all but like 3 or 4 laps of this race, or 4 or 5 laps in this race altogether. That 18 was just so good today. Of course, they'll practice and qualifying to really help him out. But Chandler Smith with a really big victory, and it's no surprise, too. Kyle Motorsports historically has been really, really great at this track. So it's not a shock to me that Chandler Smith won. So congratulations to Chandler Smith on picking up the victory. He gets a very easy victory here at Pocono. So now let's go through the results of today's race and give you my score of today's race. So Chandler Smith picks up the victory. Second place to Ryan Preece. Ryan Preece really most of the race is the only challenger against Chandler Smith. Preece had a top 3 truck all day long. He started 22nd and got up second, which is really impressive. I thought he was going to get around Chandler Smith, and he did get around him at one point, but unfortunately, that caution coming out kind of cost him an opportunity, but still gets a very strong second place finish. John Hunter Nemechek finishes third. Good run from John Hunter. John Hunter had a top 5 truck most of the day. They brought the same truck basically coming into it from last year. Still great run, though. Top 5 finish for John Hunter. Corey Heim finishes 4th. Great day for KBM in general. All of them getting top 4 finishes. Corey had a top 5 truck most of the day. Great run for Corey Heim in 4th position. Carson Osbar was a solid run in 5th. Carson was a top 10 truck most of the day. Gets a good top 5 finish. Good run from him. Austin Hill was in the 7 truck. He gets a really strong top 10 with the 6th place finish. Spire Motorsports showing a lot of things in the truck series. While their Cup program isn't as good, their truck program is really, really solid. Great run from Austin Hill in 6th, and will probably help him later today in the NASCAR Xfinity Series race. Ty Majeski with a very solid top 10 run, made great adjustments and bounced back to solid top 10 run. Good run from him. Christian Eckes finishes 8th. Top 10 run. Actually got a stage win and got a playoff win, which is great to see. Gets a solid top 10 finish. Good run from him. Derek Cross finishes 9th. He did get some points in the race of stages, but unfortunately, because he did not win the race and Matt Crafton did well enough to stay on the track, Derek Cross unfortunately missed the playoffs by about 20 points in this race. It's unfortunate because Derek Cross was really coming on strong in the second half. I think Derek Cross could definitely be a contender next year if he does return to the 19 team next year. It's a shame that they didn't get in there, but like 2020, they got close. But so far, but great run from Derek Cross regardless. Tanner Gray gets a very solid top 10 finish. Good run from Tanner Gray in 11th. Chase Purdy, been decent this year. Better than last year, I should say. He finishes 11th. Matt DiBenedetto, who is returning to Rackley next year. We'll talk about that later this week. But Matty D finishes 12th. Good run from Matt DiBenedetto in 12th position. He ran a lot of this race inside the top 10. Truck kind of fell off near the end. But Matty D's been very solid a year and gets a very decent 12th place finish. Zane Smith, who came back down pit road late, he basically bounced back to a very solid top 15 finish. Good run from Zane Smith in 13th at the end of the day. Great bounce back, and congrats on winning the regular season championship. Stuart Friesen, who had some issues late, he finishes in 14th. Matt Crafton finishing enough to get in the championship battle. He finishes in 15th. Not a great day, but not a bad day either. Tyler Ergen finishes in 16th. Grant Enfinger finishes 17th. He's also clinched a spot into the playoffs with a good run. Colby Howard finishes in 18th. Ben Rhodes finishes 19th. Tate Fogelman, who was running this race in the top 10, who does not, it's unclear what other races he's going to run this year. He gets a very solid top 20 run. Good run from him in 20th. Max Gutierrez finishes 21st. Wallace Allen finishes 22nd. Kaz Grawl finishes 23rd. Dean Thompson finishes 24th. Caden Honeycutt, who's making his first start with the 30 team, saw top 25 finish, ran top 25 all day. Maybe it should definitely be consideration for the 30 team for the rest of the year. Good, decent run for him. Jesse Little finishes 26th. Chris Wright finishes 27th. Timmy Hill finishes 28th. Blaine Purkis finishes 29th. Tyler Hill crashed early. He did bounce back a little bit to 30th. Armani Williams, who made his debut, who they really never mentioned at all, he finishes 31st. Spencer Boyd has spun out, finishes 32nd. Haley Deegan, who had some issues late in the race, had some brake issues. She finished 33rd. Came down the road with problems with her brakes. She finishes 33rd, unfortunately. Josh Riem finishes 34th. Jack Wood finishes 35th. And finishing last in 36th position is Todd Bodine. So overall, let me talk about my thoughts of today's race and give my score of today's race. Honestly, this race was really, really quick. This race only started at 12:20, and they finished this race in less than an hour and a half. A lot of it is, one, due to the fact that they had to get the race in really quickly because you have Cup practice that is coming up here very, very shortly. And you also do have the fact that basically this race has been generally a race that's been really short. One of the shortest truck races that I can remember in a very, very long time. And I thought the race went really, really quick. I just want to see a little more action, to be honest with you. And there was a lot of this race that kind of ended early because of the cautions. There was a lot of caution in this race, especially stage 1. They only got 4 green flag laps all together in stage number 1. They then basically went green most of the rest of the way, but still, we only got to see maybe 30 laps out of 60 laps under the green flag, maybe 35 laps under the green flag. So my overall thoughts on today's race, and there was some decent racing for sure. My thoughts, I'm going to give this race overall a 7 out of 10. I wish there was a little more green flag than there was, but it was a decent race overall, and congratulations to Chandler Smith on picking up the victory. So anyway, that is going to today's short NASCAR Camp World Truck Series race review from Pocono. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notification on to be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on page as well. Let's go jump over that and comment your thoughts on today's truck race. What are your thoughts on today's truck race? Let me know below. Let me know your score in the comments below, and congratulate Chandler Smith on picking up the victory. Let me know in the comments below. We will not have a NASCAR Xfinity Series race review on the channel, but we are going to have an SRX race review from Sharon Speedway later tonight after this championship race concludes for the SRX. So anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time for some more great, awesome NASCAR and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.